Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live once again. This is Empire's State of Baseball, episode number 171, airing on July 27th of the year 2026. We are live on X, YouTube, presented by Diamond Sports Media, and powered by StreamYard. All right. Well, gentlemen, hard to believe. We're already just about halfway through the summer. We're on the final episode of the month of July. Trade deadlines looming right around the corner. My opinion, all of sports across major league sports. Last year, as we know, was absolutely eventful. We'll see if this was just as eventful. But TBD, how are you guys all doing tonight?
Doing great, man. Doing great. We're 1 week away from not only the MLB trade deadline taking place at 6 o'clock p.m. on Monday, August the 3rd, but the biggest episode of any episode that we ever do here at Empire State of Baseball. It's not even technically an episode since it's ESB Live. So we'll throw it out here. It won't be the first time you hear it tonight. But next week, this time, well, not even this time next week. Next week, 5 p.m. Eastern time, start time, 2026 MLB trade deadline special. It's going to be hosted there by ESB Live. It'll be the four of us, your Monday schmucks. And then we also got the people from all the spaces that are going to be joining us as well to co-host this special Empire State of Baseball production. Joe, this was such a fun episode next week. And who only knows what MLB has in store for us when it comes down to trade news.
Yeah, last year we covered the trade deadline right through it, and we had a flurry of activities, trades coming in, even trades coming in last minute. It was a great episode. I'm hoping that MLB holds off on some of the trades until that day. So I'm hoping we don't get sometimes once in a while we get bad trade deadline where all the trades happen before the deadline. I'm hoping we get a trade deadline that happens the day of the deadline because that'll make this show fun. Rich is going to have the news feed going live. Mm-hmm. We'll have our prospect list going up. So we'll be able to tell you when trades go through, we'll be able to tell you what prospects are traded, why you should care. And, we're going to have a really busy deadline. The Mets are going to be, the biggest seller probably of the deadline. The Yankees should be one of the bigger buyers of the deadline.
Both.
It should be a fun time and an active afternoon for us.
100%. I promise you this. If you drink every time Rich promotes this episode next week, you will die.
Do I count? Because I'm already halfway there. Let's go, people.
There you go. Good man.
We only could be so lucky.
Tom, I know over the next week we're going to be talking about a lot of big trades, some sales even. But how about we talk about some sales going down over a rollback?
Yeah, let's absolutely talk about that. I honestly was perusing that last call section this weekend. Ordered a pair of joggers for myself. A wife ordered something off the women's last call section. You got some deals and steals out there. It's not the only deals this week is going to be the deadline. The rollback last call section, that stuff's like 30% off. Use promo code TWASPL15, get yourself another 15% off. Again, I got some joggers for the fall just to kind of nice. A little warm, little coziness where they were looking nice and they were on sale. So why not give them a shot? That is Rhoback.com, RHOBACK.com. Promo code TWASPL15. Get yourself 15% off your first order. Again, stack it with those the last call things, and you could really get yourself a steal at the deadline.
No, 100%. Listen, I love everything Rhoback. Corey Favs needs to get a razor. I'm always around here. This is business as usual from my side. But anyway, we're going to have a really, really good show today. Going back to some of the basics here. We're going to go to Empire Express, latest and greatest for both New York teams, as Joe kind of alluded to a little earlier. One team looks like they're trending to be heavy buyers. One team trending to be heavy sellers. So we'll talk more on both teams momentarily. Look at the trade will be our game segment for tonight, where we'll try to fill in the blanks on trades of the past. And then we'll be wrapping with the New York Strike Exchange, everyone's favorite segment, the Bulls and the Bears. We go back to the trading floor to see how we all performed over the last 3 weeks. Again, we're doing a tri-weekly now as opposed to bi-weekly. So been a little bit since the earlier part of July. So we'll see how the July results came in for all of us. But talking about results coming in, why don't we start with the New York Mets? I feel like there's, not much to talk because there's not really a lot of results for the New York Metropolitans. I mean, you can see it right there up on the screen. 44-62, 18 and a half games back. I mean, this is not at all where we expected the Mets to be going into trade deadline season. It's one thing to be playing a little rough. If they were still maintaining that pace of, 5, 6, 7 under 500, at least you can make the argument maybe there's some sort of crazy miracle second half rally. There's been no talks of any miraculous rallies for well over a month at this point, boys. All you could say, it's been a rough year. Juan Soto go on the IL again with the calf. At this point, just shut the guy down. He said today he will be back. Why bother? Rest up, take all the time you need, make that calf healthy for 2028. Hopefully next year, 2027, but TBD on that. I saw the news, Jeff Passan saying today, a lot of owners don't know if there will be baseball next year. So we'll see what happens there. But it's going to turn out to be, it should be a very exciting week for the Mets, not so much on the field, but I'm personally looking really forward to seeing how the sell-off is executed. The last time the Mets were really in a strong sell-off position was the 2023 deadline. And I thought Alper did a pretty good job there. I know the prospects didn't necessarily turn out to the players we thought they were. But just in terms of at the time, trading some of the older pitchers in a Scherzer, in a Verlander, and getting some young prospects, at least it gave some hope, gave some excitement, and hope to see some of the same this time around. Luke Weaver being the biggest trade chip. There's some other good pieces too. Holmes is working his way back. He's going to do another rehab outing this week. So that they have some pieces sell off. Joe, how you looking forward to this deadline coming up?
Yeah, I mean, listen, right now it's what can the Mets do to get as much as humanly possible for expiring contracts, gauge the market on those that are not expiring but are having good years, aka a Luke Weaver, maybe a Francisco Alvarez in the very thin catching market, especially after Shea Langoliers found himself hurt, and find a way to replenish your system and take advantage of the fact that you do have some valuable players that other teams are going to desire. Luke Weaver, with the exception of Mason Miller, Luke Weaver might be the second best reliever available this offseason. Brazoban might be the third best reliever. Brooks Raley might be the best left-handed reliever available. So all of these things have to factor in. Raley, Minter, they have to go. They're on expiring deals. If you want them on your team next year, just go out and re-sign them next year. But those guys got to go. If you can move a Luis Robert, move them. If you can move on from a guy like Jorge Polanco, you move him in a minute. I don't think you will be able to move Polanco in particular. Somebody might take Robert, given the fact that he is a right-handed bat. He does have a lot of power, and he plays really good defense, despite the fact that he's constantly injured. A team might say
that he never plays.
He never plays, but you only have to take him for 2 months. His option is a club option for next year, so you really only trade him for 2 months of him. Some team might take him, and especially Spencer Steer just got hurt. So the presence of right-handed power on the trade market is really, really thin. So if you get a bag of balls for him, you got to get rid of them. So that's really I'm curious how deep the sell-off is going to go. And I'm sure the Mets are looking at somebody like Sean Manaea, who had a decent start his last time out. Can they figure out a way to move him in a market where everybody needs a starting pitching, basically, a starting pitcher? I'm sure the Mets would jump for joy at doing that. I don't think they have any shot of moving Semien. I think you can't move him.
You're locked in with him.
Yeah. the question is, Holmes is going to be the most fascinating one, I think, because he's got a player option. He's most likely going to free agency anyway. He's expressed interest in coming back here. Can you get enough for him coming off the injury and maintain goodwill to bring him back?
I think you could.
That would be the ideal scenario. You trade Holmes for something good that can help you down the line, and then you turn around and re-sign him next year. I'm all for that. But if you can get something good for him, he might have to go.
I know. That would be an absolute best case scenario. Because again, this is a lost season. He's unless he has a devastating injury in the next month or two. He's opting out.
Yeah.
Considering the price that mediocre starting pitching gets on the market these days is staggering. So to get above average starting pitching on the market, because Holmes was having a phenomenal year, even going back to last year when the Mets starting pitching completely tanked in the second half. Clay Holmes was the only one outside of Noah McLean who just got called up. He was the only one who actually improved in the second half. He started to finally get into rhythm. He got over that rut.
Yeah, Stearns' best signing.
100%. And I loved watching him pitch. Absolute shame when he got hurt, but you got to get the hole.
I'll make the argument
and hope to bring him back.
Holmes has been the best starting pitcher signing in the past 2 years in baseball.
12 million roughly.
You've never heard of Max Fried, I guess, but okay.
Max. All right, you got me on Max Fried, but I'm saying. There's not the great starting pitchers the last few years have not been signed. That there've been few and far between. Even Corbin Bird's got hurt. Snell's been hurt.
For the value, it's for the value of Holmes and what you're paying him. It is absolutely one of the best signings.
Yes,
100%.
100%.
But the biggest problem that the Mets have right now is Peralta's got no value. Peralta has been so incredibly bad. I'm at the point where I'm not even sure you're getting anything from Freddie Peralta.
I'm going to qualify over him instead.
And so I don't know what to do with him. You're going to get practically nothing for him. But he's a free agent. You have to trade him. And he's been basically the worst pitcher in starting baseball. So, he has put the Mets in such a terrible position. If you're looking for a culprit number one and why the Mets have been so bad this year, Freddie Peralta is number one.
He's right there.
There's nothing left to be said. He's been terrible for them. And he's supposed to be the guy who was number one in this team.
Well, Joe, can I ask you a question here, though?
Yeah.
If Freddie Peralta would have pitched like the Freddie Peralta we've seen from Milwaukee over the last couple of years, do you think it changes the Mets' fortunes at all? It's still a starter going 1 out of every 5 days.
Correct. I don't think it really changes the Mets' fortunes. I think so much has gone wrong, including Lindor being hurt, then Soto, back to Lindor, now Soto again. The fact that they've had Lindor and Soto on the field for probably 30 games total this season, that's a big problem. Polanco basically not playing. It's a multi-level problem. Same with Senga and Peterson basically being unpitchable for the entire season. That's also been a problem. But Peralta not being the ace, not being the number one guy that you thought you were getting, has been one of the biggest problems because it's demoralizing. It's demoralizing.
It's a domino effect. He's a guy who's supposed to be
4 and 5 starters, and then your number one starter comes in and pitches just as bad. That's a huge problem. You got nowhere to turn.
It's to have a guy who's supposed to be your ace and he can't get to the 6th inning is terrible. It's taxes your bullpen, and the Mets, right, they've had some good guys in the bullpen. We were talking a little while ago, the guys that they'd have to trade off, but you're overtaxing them. Then those guys might not be able to go the next day. Like Freddie Peralta is a guy who, you're supposed to see quality start every time. He's 6 and 3 at the very worst. He's supposed to give you 7 innings, every other start. And I don't know last time he saw the seventh inning.
But Tom, my pushback though is that durability of that's always been part of Freddie Peralta's game. I mean, he's always been a 5-inning at max 6-inning pitcher. I mean, if we morons have access to that, if us morons have access to that same information, how do the Mets not see that as a potential issue?
That's not the issue. The fact that he's got a 6 ERA is the issue. If he's going out every game and pitching 5 to 6 innings, okay, am I getting all that I want out of an ace? No, but at the same time, if he's pitching 5 or 6 innings, 1-run ball, I'm okay with that. Like that is what it is. But right now, he's given up 4 or 5 runs in the first 3 innings of the game. He's up by the 4th inning.
Yeah,
That's a different story.
It's not competitive right now.
Well, he's got 2.8 ERA and he's going 5 2/3 every time. I'll live with that in today's baseball. What I won't live with is going 4 2/3 and giving up 6 runs. So that's the biggest issue right now. And we've seen the Mets. They just flashed the statistic on the screen. With Juan Soto healthy this year, they're 40-44, despite 3 pitchers basically being automatic losses every time through the rotation. Mm-hmm. There's room for this team. There's room and glimmers of the productivity of some of these players, of you being an okay team if you get rid of the crap. Mm-hmm. The problem is the Mets I've had 4 or 5 guys this year that are just such awful that have been so bad for them that they've sunk any hope of this team doing anything. Right. And they got rid of one in Peterson, thank God. Yeah. The next is Senga, so he's got to go. So now all of a sudden you reset the clock and you got Thornton and McLean and Scott. That's not a bad young rotation to start building around.
Yeah, 3 pieces.
And Ewan and Benj look really, really good. I mean, these kids are they going to be power hitters? Are they going to be 35 home runs? Absolutely not. Are they going to be a productive leadoff hitter and a productive number 5 or number 2 hitter? Absolutely. And that's what I need from them, which is completely fine. If I'm power later. But there's the makings there, but it's so bogged down with these awful players that are just net negatives that every time they step on the field, they find a way to cost you a game. And Marcus Semien is one of them. That it offsets we as Met fans can't see the hope right now.
I have one last question, Corey. I'll let you answer first, and I'm going to go to Joe here. A question I've asked before in prior spaces, but since we're getting closer to the deadline, I'll ask it again. Does it excite you guys as Mets fans to kind of see David Stearns operate as a selling Pobo ahead of this trade deadline? I mean, he's been in this position in years past in Milwaukee. I'd have to do some extra research to see some of the players he's pulled together in that situation. Is there any excitement?
The Brewers were always have been in the playoffs for almost every year for a while.
For a good amount, but not always.
I'm intrigued. I mean, obviously, I wish we were buyers. I wish we weren't in the situation. But I think what ends up happening is in 2024, when the team went on that miracle run, that was Stearns' chance to kind of turn over the roster, make some big trades. And then because of how that season went, they completely flipped the script in the month of June. That team went from bottom team in all of baseball to making the NLCS. That took away those plans. So I am intrigued. The good thing with the Mets, though, at least right now, is they got a lot of pieces they could sell. I don't know if they're going to get a lot back. Weaver's going to get the most. Holmes will be an interesting fetch. The other guys, I don't think they'll have a big return, but they should still be able to flip some of the other pieces too. So I'm intrigued to see how it goes, but we'll see what happens.
I mean,
not counting 2020, the Brewers' last under 500 season is 2016, and I don't know if Stearns was even there for that. So
he was the GM. Stearns was the GM in 2016, but yeah, for the most part, they've been successful.
I'm interested to see what his evaluation of guys outside the organization is at a prospect level. I have one thing I have Stearns in confidence in Stearns in is his ability to draft and judge his minor league players. He's been very good at that. His first draft pick was Carson Benj, and he's already showing that was the right pick at the time. I'm very curious, and to the fact that if the Mets remember the Mets pay a penalty in the draft. So if they're bad enough this year and they get a top 6 pick, they don't move down 10 slots. So now all of a sudden you give Stern some prospect capital from trades, and then next year you get a top 6 pick in the draft theoretically.
Why don't they get penalized?
Because if you're the top 6 picks are protected, you don't get a penalty for being over anything if you're in the top 6 picks. So if that all comes to fruition, it's going to be interesting to see what his trade deadline's like, what his offseason is like, what he does with those prospects, and then having the ability to actually have an early pick. That's going to replenish the farm of the organization a lot quicker than a team in this position would be if they were just mediocre this year, because then he has assets. He's got, like I said, he's probably got 3 of the top 4 relievers on the open market this year. So every team in baseball needs a reliever, every single one. So he's going to be able to play this up and have a little bit more going for these guys. So I'm really curious what it nets him. I mean, he got a guy who's ranked 13th for the Mets, for David Peterson, who has 6.5 ERA. Yeah. I think that's one of the strong suits for him, and I'm curious to see what he gets for these guys.
Yeah, very interesting stuff. We'll flip over to the Yankee side. By the way, Tom, I was looking at that 2016 trade deadline for the Brewers. That was the last time when David Stearns was in a position to sell. I didn't really see anything that was outrageously good for the Milwaukee Brewers that they traded for. They traded away, like, for example, Jeremy Jeffress, who was a solid back-end reliever, and Jonathan Lucroy went to Texas. They got back Lewis Brinson, Luis Ortiz. Like, didn't get anything crazy there.
Well, Stearns was more doing. His selling is more of he was selling guys away right before they became free agents. So not deadline moves, but moves of trading Corbin Burns when they did is their version of selling. But that was
all season. It's all season.
Here's the other thing. He also has a habit of selling players to acquire prospects he later flips in other deals. Remember, I believe Lewis Brinson went on the Yelich deal, right? After he acquired him.
Yes, that is correct.
That's another thing that he does a lot of. And if you look at his history, a lot of times he sells and then he turns around and he offloads the prospects for somebody in the offseason that you don't think of. I think he did that with the Hader deal. He got a bunch of guys for Hader, and then he flipped some of them later for another trade that offseason. So he has a habit of doing that.
I mean, even most recently, after having Caleb Durbin for a year, they flipped him to Boston, brought in Kyle Harrison, who went on to become an all-star starter for the Milwaukee Brewers.
I think he was gone already.
Oh, duh, idiot. All right, that's just Milwaukee being Milwaukee then. Good for them. All righty, well, we'll go on from there, go to the Yankees side of the house. Let's see what's going on here with the New York Yankees, Thomas. The New York Yankees coming off a series win against the Phillies. I think you take that considering the state of affairs. Didn't look great last night. Currently down 1-0 against the White Sox in the bottom of the first inning. Colson Montgomery, an RBI single. Max Fried on the bump for the Yankees in this one. Taken out of you took 2 series in a row. You're taking those series wins no matter how you take it. The only thing that you're not liking coming out of this weekend is that Cody Bellinger is now heading for the IL. And this graphic doesn't represent the latest update. It's a grade 2 hamstring strain. He will be out for 4 to 6 weeks. Where does this put the are the Yankees now in a non-winnable situation here with Cody Bellinger out, or is this more of a hey, luckily this happened before August 3rd. Maybe the Yankees could do something to replenish his offense for a little bit.
I think this changes what the Yankees are going to do at the deadline. I think, right, like every team, as Joe was saying before, God, I hate when Joe's right about things. Every team needs pitching. Every team would love relief pitching. And I think the Yankees, probably that was going to be a big focus. There's the talk about not Andrew Miller. Mason Miller out there talks about other potential relievers on the market. I think now you have to address it. You got to get a bat in the outfield. I don't see a way how you can get away without it. Bellinger should be back. I mean, hamstrings can be iffy. Judge, when he comes back, we don't know how much outfield is going to play. Grisham's already been hurt and he's had kind of leg injuries. So, I think the Yankees have to go out and get a legit outfielder. And if everyone comes back and everyone's ready to go, you figure it out in the middle of September going into the playoffs. But I think right now, maybe your number one target has to be a real outfielder. I still think catching is tough to get. I don't know what is out there that really moves the needle a ton, unless you're going to do the move for Goodman. But that seems like I still don't know. I don't know even why they would sell him at this point. I think they need to go out. I'd have to see who's being rumored out there, but you got to make a move.
Before I throw it to Corey and Joe to touch on what's going on with the Yankees, I need to talk to some people that are still mentally deranged. I'm just going to say it that way. Because still to this day, without Aaron Judge, without Giancarlo Stanton, without Cody Bellinger, with the current offense the Yankees have, these people still think the need is Mason Miller. They still think the need is Adrian Morejon. They still think the need is Joe Ryan and Tarek Skubal and all these starting pitchers and relief. Does not matter. Did anybody look at the Yankees lineup today? Did anybody actually look at the lineup? Can I read the lineup? Joe, can I read the lineup?
It's bad.
The lineup is Max Schumann leading off.
Max Schumann looks like he just died in the outfield, so that's not
as always. Paul Goldschmidt, now 3-0 White Sox, by the way. Paul Goldschmidt, Jason Dominguez, Anthony Volpe, Jazz Chisholm, Jose Caballero, Spencer Jones, Ali Sanchez. We need fucking pitching, people. We need pitching. Corey, we need Tarek Skubal still. Have we finally figured out that that's not the need anymore?
Yankees might have to trade pitching to get a bat at this rate.
Yeah, 100%. They need offense in the worst way. And yeah, I agree with you, Tom. I think it's definitely changed perception of where the Yankees got to go. If they're still in the Mason Miller business, I don't know what the fuck they're looking at. I don't know if they're watching even the same organization anymore.
The thing with Mason Miller,
the thing with Mason Miller is he's not an expiring deal. He's a guy you'd have for 3 more years. He becomes your closure.
But you lose so many assets into Mason Miller that you can't spread out to anywhere else.
I agree that at this, I just said it. I think they have to go out and they have to get a legit outfielder. I think they have to go out and get another bat that you could put somewhere that's useful, whether that's catching or whatever is going on in the infield right now. But yeah, it like we always say, at least I always say, it depends what's available. Like if those bats aren't out there and you got to improve somewhere, then you do that. It depends.
Oh, by the way, I think Max Schumann just got hurt.
I said that he just died out there.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear
that. Yeah,
I thought that was like a figurative died because he's down. He's down. So
yeah,
there you go. Another guy.
Field was being real shitty there, and it looks like he slipped out, and I don't know.
It's insane to me, Corey. It's fucking insane.
Listen. Ironically, I think when it comes to the Yankees and Mets, and a lot of it's hard being the crosstown rivals. They match up really well with trades, man. They really do, because you guys want some pop a catcher that we've been rumored to be shopping Alvarez and Luis Torrens, familiar face, back into the bullpen. Yeah, sure. Luke Weaver. You want an outfielder? Luis Robert. I know, granted, he'll be right there with Stanton, always on the IL.
Yeah,
but it's an interesting game, though. They match up well.
I think they need to get a more dependable outfield bat than Robert. I think if considering the situation, I think Luis Robert is a luxury for a team. Like, hey, we can hit a home run here. We could work him in. Maybe he's more of a platoon situation. He's not going to be called on a lot. If Luis Robert got traded to the Yankees, they would need him to play every day. Which, I don't know the last time he played every day.
True.
Given what's going on with the state of affairs at this point right now, I'd just rather take Luis Robert Jr. than Mason Miller in a fucking trade. Just to answer the current state of affairs. Again, Mason Miller is amazing. He's the number 1 relief pitcher in all base. He does not answer any questions for this current team. Joe, go ahead.
Real quick, do you know who would be perfect for the Yankees on the Mets? Bo Bichette. I think Bo Bichette would be a really nice fit. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking.
What it's worth.
He played a good field, ironically, too. I know that was his weak game. But
he don't cost you Josh Lumber Jr., I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly changes the Yankee perspective on the offseason. And the question I think Cashman and the rest of the Yankees have to ask themselves is, what does all in look like in a year when your top 3 offensive players, not including Ben Rice, but your projected top 3 offensive players coming into the year, are all on the IL, and none are projected to be back before September, thus really putting all 3 season in doubt on whether or not they're going to be back at all. Because Cody can ramp up production, second week of September. He can ramp up baseball activities. He can find out that his hamstring's not good enough. Judge can ramp up baseball activities and find that he's still got a strain in his ribs. And we know that Stanton.
I have an answer for you, Joe. And it's not going to be the same answer I've used for the last month and say the American League is bad. I'm not using that. Because in a worst case scenario, the Yankees do not win the division and they're in a best of 3. They're sending Cam Schlittler, Max Fried, Garrett Cole. In a best of 5, they are sending Cam Schlittler, Garrett Cole, Max Fried. In a best of 7, those 3 pitchers could potentially throw twice in a 7-game set.
Listen,
that's what I'm looking for. That's where I'm putting my stock into. That's why I've consistently said the Yankees do not need starting pitching, because they're going into the playoffs with potentially the best rotation in that postseason.
I understand that, Rich, but at the same time, this isn't a major league lineup right now. And 100%. That we've seen teams with great rotations. We've seen the Mariners go into the playoffs with a great rotation and no offense to show for it, and it wasn't good enough. And the Mariners offense from a few years ago makes this current Yankee lineup look like they're playing different types of baseball. So the question is, what is the move out there? What is the name out there that is going to change your perception of what this lineup looks like if we can't count on Judge, Bellinger, or Stanton returning at any point, let alone in the near future? And remember, yes, the AL is weak. But what are the Yankees? If the Yankees play 500 ball the rest of the way, I don't know if that's good enough. The Red Sox are hot. Somebody out west between the Astros have the MVP of the league on their team right now that's killing it. The Mariners are a strong team. I know and the Rangers are a nice team if they get another bat in there. I don't know if their playoff spot is going to be guaranteed as currently constructed. So what bat do you get? If you're telling me Joe Adele, for example, is the magic bat that's going to change the outlook of the way this lineup looks, I don't think that's right. I don't know if it's possible to replace that offensive production at this point, no matter who you get.
It's tough. Yeah, it's a tough situation because from a Yankee standpoint, you really want to be all in, especially with the uncertainty of 2027. And the Yankees team has been so close. Like for half a decade now, this team has been so close. I mean, in the World Series, how many times in the playoffs, in the CS, and now again, we'll see what happens with Judge, see if he comes back, but just trying to get that one with Judge while he's still in his prime, now towards the backside of his prime. So it's hard from a Yankee standpoint not to be all in. And we've criticized the Yankees every year for the most part. We've criticized them for not going all in at the deadline, for not giving up their prospects and watching their prospects continue to go down in value over time. So it's hard to say don't go all in. To Joe's point, though, you do got to make a lot of moves to keep that offense competitive. But I still think you go in. There's so much uncertainty right now. I think you got to go all in and just hope you get hot.
Let's do ideal scenario, right? Like, let's say ideal scenario. The answer is Ryan Jeffers and Joe Adele.
Okay.
Well, let's block out that, like, line up the lineup with me without Bellinger, Judge, and Stanton, and what that lineup looks like. So, who in that scenario, who's leading off? Caballero.
In that scenario, I mean, look, you're going with it's been Grisham for the most part. So and that's it. You got it's probably going to be like Trent. It's probably going to be like Trent, Ben. Let's just say Jeffers. Then we can probably say not Belly.
Adele.
Who's our other lefty? No, Adele's a righty.
Yes.
Probably Jazz. Yeah, then
Yes.
you're probably looking at Adele, Dominguez, either McMahon, Jones, slash.
Yeah.
It's not good.
That's
I wonder if there's a scenario.
It's better than what we currently have, but it's not good.
no.
I wonder
right,
if there's a scenario where if they could find a second baseman, they would try to kick Jazz back to the outfield. He played outfield in Miami. If you could get someone to play second, could that be in the cards? I don't know.
It's tough because as far as outfielders go, Jazz wasn't the strongest. He's only also ever played center field. I actually can more see the scenario of him getting shifted back to third if the answer is at second base, if need be. But then you're taking a hit.
I don't know.
Defensively,
Yeah.
you get a slight upgrade offensively there now, third officially.
Sometimes,
I don't know. I don't think there's the problem is, Tom, I don't think there's a perfect answer. And we could run through all the fun trade mocks that were left on ESPN NYY's Twitter page. I'm sure Tom loved seeing every single one of your trade mocks out there. But I don't know if there's a one-stop shop. I don't know if there's a clear answer here. And I don't even know, this is the scariest part, I don't know if the Yankees have enough ammunition to compete with everybody else. We're still in a world where 12 teams make the playoffs on both fronts. There are going to be more buyers than sellers. And there are far more teams that have better farm systems than the New York Yankees that are probably going to be a little bit more hungry this time around. The reports are saying that Cashman's going to be ultra aggressive. We'll see what ultra aggressive means. If ultra aggressive just means figuring out temp answers for now, yeah, you may be able to play 500 baseball until some of the other guys come back, but it's still not going to be pretty. There's no perfect answer. It really isn't. And unfortunately, it falls on your guys. I mean, you can't kill Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman for the current situation. The current situation stinks right now, right? But the guys who are in there and given opportunities day after day to wear the pinstripes, they got to fucking play. They got to step up. You know, this is the difference. 2019, Tom, you remember 2019? Remember the magic of that season? The Yankees won 103 games that year. Do you know, for the most part, they didn't have Aaron Judge and they didn't have Giancarlo Stanton in that lineup. And yes, it was juice ball. I get it. But there were players around that stepped up while those two players are out on the shelf. And if you looked at the remaining parts, wasn't as good of a team as the Yankees left off with. Now I think it's a little bit better that Cody Bellinger's out. But guys have to step up. Simple as that. You guys are all afforded opportunities to stay Yankees, and you're not showcasing. This is why the names of Spencer Jones and Jason Dominguez come up in trade rumors. There's reasons why people are even talking about Anthony Volpe possibly getting shipped out. I don't know for what exactly, but your opportunities have gone past you guys. You had your moments. It didn't pan out. So it is what it is. Like, it'll be very interesting over this next week to see what the Yankees end up doing. I'm fearful of what they can actually offer teams that are convincing enough to take on their players. All right, let's get out of here. We're going to get into our game. Before we do that, Corey, let's throw it over to you for Instagram and TikTok.
Go ahead and give us a follow on the gram and the talk. We're at Empire State of Baseball. Again, that is at Empire State of Baseball. You'll find archive segments, episode preview, meme reels, other content. Again, go ahead and support us on those channels as well, at Empire State of Baseball. And that's on the gram and talk both. So one handle, two platforms. Go ahead and give us a follow.
My guy. All right, let's go over the game. The game is ESP's original trick of the trade, and of course, I don't plan these things, guy. I just follow a 5-game rotation. It just so happened that trick of the trade's the last game we play before the trade deadline. I mean, it just somehow these things just work out. Tom, we're gonna throw it over to you for your trade here. It's gonna be Tom and Joe hosting this. We got a 3-at-bat policy. Joe's gonna take the first guest, and Corey, then I'm gonna go third. So, Tom, let's see what you brought to the table.
We're going back in time here as Rich pulls it up on the screen. Ooh. Eventually.
It's there. You don't see it?
Sure is
Does
not.
anybody see it?
I see it.
No.
I see
you
it.
see it.
I'll try it again.
Don't.
I'll try it again.
Okay.
You see it again?
Okay.
I see it.
I don't see it.
What?
Oh.
I don't know how to
Now I see it.
Here.
Now I see it. Okay. I don't know what happened.
There we go.
All right. So, yeah, we're going back to June 9th, a little pre-deadline move, 1997. The Yankees acquired this player for a guy who was big at times for them in the playoffs, Chad Curtis. Who did the Yankees acquire in this deal?
Joe, you're first. Joe, Corey, me.
Me leading off?
Yeah. I thought you were just thinking.
He was Googling it.
By the way, while Joe is thinking, he is in the lead, 19 points. And as far as this game is concerned, the trick of the trade, he is the best at trick of the trade. So let's see if he can keep that going.
I don't know if he was in Cleveland. No, he pitched for the Yankees in '98, so he wouldn't have been him. I'm going to throw out a name that I just know was Cleveland. I know it's not him, but Kenny Lofton.
It is not Kenny Lofton. And also, hold on 1 second before there's another guess here. Because the Yankees are...
What do you got? Did we screw this up?
I think you screwed this up. The Yankees are acquiring this player.
Oh.
Just look up the...
Yeah, that's
no.
You didn't write that.
No. It is right. It is right. The Yankees trade this player to Cleveland, and they get Chad Curtis.
Okay.
So it is correct on the screen.
K for Tom.
I got my 1K for Tom.
Corey.
Let's see. 97. Trying to think of Cleveland players that came up. Early 2000s, turn of the millennium.
We
you
guys
boy.
are hiding the chat.
Yeah, I always hide the chat. Come on.
You're the biggest cheater. I mean, biggest cheater in baseball since Barry Bonds. So can't trust you.
Let's see. I gotta throw out a name. I know it's 100% wrong. Paul Bird. I know it's not Paul Bird. I just can't think of a name.
Incorrect.
Paul Bird. I'm thinking 96 guys. Off the World Series, maybe they didn't stay put for the 97 run, which was ultimately won by the Marlins. They outlasted Cleveland. Let's go with an ESB alumni, if you want to call it that, Jim Leyritz.
It is not Jim Leyritz. I actually considered a Jim Leyritz trade and then thought there could be some remembrance of the ESB episode. So I didn't go for that. So I'm happy I did.
Joe, back to you. 3.
Any other hints, Thomas?
Oh, he ain't going to give you no hints.
I ain't giving you shit.
He ain't giving you a damn thing.
Yeah. God. Trying to think of early Yankees that were Cleveland.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. I might have it.
Somebody it's Marcus Semien just hit a home run for the Mets.
Oh, look at that.
It is not Marcus Semien. Corey, you're up.
No. I don't know. I'll take it backwards K.
Backwards K for Joe. Corey.
Love it. He needs time to Google it.
I forget what year is a Yankee. I'll say David Weathers, Sr.
It is David Weathers.
Oh, shit.
Father of current
Wow.
Yankee, Brian Weathers.
Why do I feel like David Weathers has been the answer of like several different ESPN
I used him for something over the last year?
Is like David Weathers like a favorite player? Oh my goodness! All right, David Weathers.
I was going through the transactions and here's the transaction for
what's the name?
You know, father
David
of current guy on the team.
So Corey's up to 16 now here. So good for Corey.
I can't what.
First time
it's one thing that I can't win a game where I can't get the answer. I can't win a game where I'm defending. My defense.
Tom, you have a chance here. Tom, you're going to go first in this next set. I'm going to go second, and Corey's going to go third. Joe's got the lineup card. I'm confusing games. The trick of the trade for tonight. So let's see what Joe's brought to the table. Go ahead and take it away now, Joe.
Yes. So July 26, 2000, which is yesterday. Kurt Schilling going to the Arizona Diamondbacks in the deal for the Phillies for Omar Dahl, Travis Lee, Vicente Padilla, and this player.
Tom, you're up first.
Okay.
Tom, me, Corey.
Sure. This guy's going to the Phil. Okay, this is not.
Former Yankee Travis Lee is in this deal, huh?
Trying to think, could this be Phillies that prospects that came up a few years later? Could it be an already established player?
Yeah, I'm saying. I mean, Vicente Padilla.
Vicente.
Yeah, Vicente
Padilla.
It was like he was definitely a
not English
quality pitcher, not a great, but quality. But
Yeah,
Nice back end guy.
yeah, but I mean, to trade Kurt Schilling, there has
a year and a half
Yes.
prior to the World Series run. So
you figure again,
biggest
we all
name is the pending.
Conspiring against Joe. It'd have to be. Unless they were trying to get off my. I don't know.
well, he's probably going to hold on any kind of hints for the first.
Yeah.
round.
I'll.
Probably a loser.
Probably. Keep thinking of guys who are definitely Phillies later, like into the early 2000s. We'll go with. Jeez.
Tom, we don't
Like
have
Placido, it's not Placido Polanco. We're just gonna throw Placido Polanco out there. It's incorrect.
It
Good
is.
guess. Good guess.
Yeah.
I like it. Early, mid 2000s Phillies.
He leaves.
Let's go with Mike Lieberthal.
No.
I thought about him.
Another
He's
good
definitely
guess.
there. He's definitely there longer though. That was the name I was thinking of actually.
Yeah.
Really?
Is it
Yeah.
Pat Burrell?
No.
Pat
Oh,
Burrell.
wait. Oh no! Wait. Yeah.
I
I just did it again. I'm thinking of it the backwards. These are guys. This guy who became a Philly, so it can be all those other guys.
This guy would be a future Met.
Okay.
I figured that we were going to go down that route.
You would think so. We'll go with. I don't think he's a future. I don't know if this guy's a future Met. Randy Wolf.
No. Okay. Randy Wolf.
Future Met.
I don't think so, but he's definitely a Philly around this time frame.
Nice name.
Oh, what's the name?
What's his? Yeah,
Rodrigo
I think-
Lopez.
No.
Is it Ricky Batalico?
No, another name out of the woodworks. All right, second hint. Trying to think. This person would work for the Mets after their baseball career.
Huh.
Or around the Mets, either one.
I have a good guess. I feel good about.
For or around the
I have a good guess here.
That guy's later.
Oof. I actually feel really good about my guess.
Or is it could? Oh no, but no, he could. Wait, I'm picturing him. I don't think it's not him, but he pitches. He pitches too far later. There's no way it's him.
Kind of wish that Joe said if he was an offensive player or a pitcher. This would definitely confirm where I want to go here. But he's not going to do that.
I don't know. I think this guy becomes a Met later. I don't know if he's a Philly. I'm gonna say Todd Hundley.
No.
Is he a Met?
David DeLucci.
Who?
David DeLucci.
No.
Fuck. Had me excited for a second.
Corey?
I'm Cade. Tom's Cade. Corey, it's up to you.
Future Met who works for the Mets. Is it current interim manager Andy Green?
It is not Andy Green. There was
Oh!
It is almost one-time ESB guest Nelson Figueroa.
Okay.
Nelson Figueroa.
Nelson Figs over Pixel.
I'd like to
did
go
have
back
right.
and we know Kurt Schilling is the real just piece of work, but the Phillies were just that desperate to get rid of him. Like they didn't get really much of anything.
I mean, It's not.
I don't-
we don't know
I
how
mean,
that
we're
trade
putting
was
hindsight
at
on.
the time. Like some of these guys.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Kurt Schilling was one of the
Like-
best pitchers in baseball. At
but
the
Tom,
time.
do we know who the top prospects were for the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2000? Like,
Well,
what if
that's what I'm
Vicente
saying.
Padilla was the guy? What if Vicente Padilla is being looked at as like
I don't think he ever was.
fucking Nolan McLean's being looked at? You know,
I don't think so.
I remember he was a head
wasn't
case.
like
dude.
a.
Tony Womack would have been a good guess. That's a good guess in there too. Very good. All right, yeah. So there you have it. Nelson Figueroa. Yeah, we almost tried to pull him for an ESP episode. Answered the DM and everything. We lined him up for a show. Had everything all sketched out. No showed. No showed. So there you go. Thanks, Nelson. Appreciate you, buddy. Great fucking MLB career you had. Anyway, let's we're not sour at all. Let's we're gonna move on from there and we're gonna touch on YouTube. Joe, we got some big things happening over on YouTube.
Yes, you can follow us on X as well as Instagram, but YouTube is our preferred platform for our show. Why? We can interact with you, the chat, here on the program. So do us a favor, go over to YouTube, subscribe. It's free. Join over 580 subscribers and counting, and join the Crosstown conversation. Like, share, and subscribe our videos, please. It helps us a lot. Don't forget, next Monday, we are live for the MLB trade deadline. We're going to start at 5 o'clock sharp. We're going to take you right through the trade deadline and beyond, break down all the trades that are happening across MLB, across the Mets, the Yankees, give you our live reaction to them, and thus having a nice community. You could share your thoughts and feelings about the trades as they happen and hear us as they happen. So do us a favor, go over to YouTube, type in Empire State of Baseball, and hit that subscribe button.
Of course, man. Big episode, or big show rather, next week, 5 p.m. Eastern time, as Joe mentioned, and open mic for anybody who wants to come up and react. Once we're past the deadline, we'll take your calls, get your reactions live on air. Also, wanted to throw this out too. We are getting started on the promotion of what we got going on September 11th of this year, and that's over at City Fades Barbershop in S&P. It will be once again a watch along. We'll be watching the Yankees and the Mets, take place at Yankee Stadium. Day of remembrance, of course. Corey Favs, remember the last time you and I took into some play-by-play over at City Fades. It was a lot of fun. So we'll keep you guys posting all the details around it, but big watch along space that we got going on for you. Watch along space stream that we got going on for you on September the 11th. But we're gonna move on to our last segment of the night. It is time for the New York Strike Exchange, and as always, we're gonna kick things off with our Bears over the last 3 weeks. And with our Bears, I'm gonna throw it right over to Corey Favs. Corey, what do you got?
Well, listen, the way both teams look right now, there could be a lot of options for Bears, but again, can only pick 5. So starting out at number 5 on the Bears list today, we have Jorge Polanco. Now, again, with Jorge Polanco, a little bit more limited playing time as opposed to the other guys, but it has not been a good return from the IL for Jorge Polanco. Just a 105 average, 4 of 38 at-bats. Simply not going to get the job done. Trent Grisham in the 4th spot. Over there, again, a 136 average, so still in that putrid average territory. 487 OPS, crazy to believe, almost double what Polanco has. But Trent Grisham, again, playing more regularly, not getting the job done. Udai Senga, again, he's been on the Bears list several times. You can see he's on his way up here as well, moving up and down the Bears list, Kodai Senga. 6 earned runs, 10.13 ERA. He's no longer in a prominent role. If he was in a prominent role, he can make the case for one. He can make the case for one regardless, but he's on the list. Will Warren, 0-2, 13 earned runs, leading to a 9.24 ERA for the Yankee, who's been rumored in some possible blockbuster trades, TBD. If he does get shipped off, time will tell. And at the top, we spoke about him a lot before, it is Freddie Peralta. Again, when you look at Peralta's ERA there compared to Warren and Senga, yeah, it's a little bit better, at 5.89 compared to the others, but it's the situation. Freddie Peralta is supposed to be the ace. The Mets gave up couple of good prospects. Granted, they haven't panned out for the Brewers right now anyway. But considering the situation, he's supposed to be your ace. He's supposed to be the guy. And he is just not delivering time in, time out. So Freddie Peralta, once again, topping the Bears list for the Bears.
Yeah, two members of this list, Joe, as you kind of mentioned before in the Empire Express, Freddie Peralta and Jorge Polanco. Like, these are two big offseason moves the Mets had, and Peralta's been on this list now twice in the number one spot on a Bear list. Polanco recently returned off the IL. He's already on the Bear list. It's just a small sample of what the offseason was like for David Stearns, pulling in some of these players that just haven't panned out.
Yeah, and you can't survive when you're the number one pitcher that you have has a 6 ERA over the past 2 months.
Nope.
You can't survive when another guy in Kodai Senga has a 10 ERA. The Yankees could survive Will Warren having a 9 ERA for a 2-week stretch because he's their fifth starter. They expect their fifth starter to go up and down. But Peralta's supposed to be their number one, and it's been awful. A 5.46 FIP is not. That's not good enough. Polanco, listen, I didn't have Polanco on my list. I gave him a little bit of leeway because he's returning off the IL. Mm-hmm. He's playing part-time. He's skipping every other day. So I get it. He's not performing well, but at the same time, at some point that comes to an end. And 105 average is pitiful, regardless of the fact that you've only had about half the number of at-bats most guys have had in that same amount of time.
Tom, I'm going to throw it over to you. Let's talk about the Bulls.
Sure. Well, we'll start at number 5, a guy that I don't think any of us could have imagined making a Bulls list this year. Former Met, former pitching lab, Paul Blackburn, who has been just so good. He's really just like the new Luke Weaver for the Yankees. Failed starter, working on getting him figured out. He's pitched some big innings for the Yankees. Almost 13 innings in the last three weeks, 1 earned run. And we say it a lot. The Bulls and Bears list, kind of who you are matters, and getting that out of a Paul Blackburn is really impressive. Number 4, we got Christian Scott of the Mets, one of the 2 Mets starting pitchers. You thought you might have seen 3 on your list, but you only got 2. 14 innings, 1.88 ERA. Really great stuff there. More than a strikeout an inning, something you love to see, especially from a young pitcher there. Number 3, we have Cam Schlittler, who I think should be higher on the list. Is his ERA higher than the other 2 Mets? Yes. Has he pitched a lot more innings in that time frame? Yes. So I think he deserves to be higher on the list. He's been incredible, especially that last start in Philly is absolutely dominating, especially in a game that was a 1-0 game. Like, he could not give up anything. If he did, they lost, and he didn't. Number 3 spot. Number 2, Nolan McLean. Ben nails a 1 ERA over 18 innings. That is very good stuff there from young Nolan McLean. Unfortunately, the Mets not giving him a ton of run support. 1 and 2 in that time frame. Tough, real tough for him there. And then number 1, we have Ben Rice, really the only person who is hitting a baseball in all of New York for either of our teams. He a 1. OPS, 7 homers in that span. He certainly struggled a little bit right when Judge went out. It became a little bit of a question of, like, is this guy just kind of really drafting off of Aaron Judge? And it did seem like that maybe for a little bit, but he's turned it back on. He's kind of proven that he's a very good hitter in Major League Baseball. And he finds himself number 1 on the Bulls list for this iteration of the New York Strike Exchange.
Very nice to see 3 young studs in both of our respective rotation, crack these lists on a more consistent basis. McLean, Schlittler, Christian Scott. So you feel good about some of the arms for both these 2 teams. But Paul Blackburn, man. Paul fucking Blackburn
would have never.
Who would have thought that Paul Blackburn would have been?
I got a question. My question is, Rich, how high did you have Paul Blackburn on your list?
I actually had Brent Hedrick over Paul Blackburn in my list. I'm going to tell you right now.
Blackburn high on
I had Blackburn, I think 4 on mine.
I had him at 5.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Blackburn wasn't on my list at all. Actually, I had Tyrone Taylor 3. I had Tyrone Taylor 3.
It was
Tyrone Taylor. How did you have Tyrone Taylor 3?
Got a hell of a month, man.
He's hitting 400.
That's
He's hitting 400 the last 2 weeks.
I'm shocked he didn't make it. Yeah.
Very weird 3 weeks.
I was surprised Zach Thornton didn't make it. I know it's more limited time.
He would have been
only a couple
6.
starts.
I think he was 6.
Yeah,
I
think
actually
He doesn't have
didn't
that
have
many less
Thornton.
innings than Kirsten Scott.
Yeah, Thornton had about the same amount of innings as Blackburn, just because of the way the break came out. It played with a lot of guys' stats, especially in the back end. Listen, I think the big thing here is, the Met fan that was worried about Nolan McLean can stop worrying. All right, this guy is legitimate. He can pitch. He is a phenomenal pitcher. He had a hiccup. He had 3 bad starts in the middle of May. Since then, he's been phenomenal. He's going to be up there in the Rookie of the Year voting. I know everybody wants to talk about WAR and J.J. Weatherholt, but McLean's going to pitch 175 innings this year. He's learning and making adjustments on the fly, and that's the great thing. And I think we've already seen that with Cam. I think we've already seen a couple of the struggles last year, and now we see the best version of Cam. I think the best version of Nolan McLean is arriving very shortly. And I think it's for the Mets and Yankees going forward. They got 2 really great pitchers that are going to be with them for a very long time.
I got an uncomfortable conversation for Corey and Joe now. Now, I don't know who's going to, at the end of the year, we do our top 10 Bulls and bottom 10 Bears of the year after it's all said and done, after we're done with the regular season, right? Assuming at this rate, you got to think Cam Schlittler might be the number 1 Bull overall after it's all said and done. But does Ben Rice displace Juan Soto as the top offensive player for the year?
I mean, Juan Soto's not going to play.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
He's not playing until September.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
and when he's played, he's been phenomenal. But...
I mean, Ben Rice, let's be honest. Ben Rice has been the best offensive player in New York consistently because the rest of the offensive players have been on the IL. Not that takes away anything from Rice, but
I think when it's all said and done,
on the IL, Soto on the IL, Lindor has been on the IL half the season, so it's not like there's many options.
Yeah, I think when it's all said and done, you're going to see the top 3 is Cam, Ben Rice, Juan Soto. I still think Juan Soto makes 3 because even though he missed time, he was phenomenal.
Himself in that 3rd spot.
We'll see.
And if Weaver stays around, possibly Weaver could, but who knows?
Top Bear might be Freddie Peralta, and he probably won't be on the Mets for the next 2 months. It's going to be insane. All right, let's flip it over to the Strike Exchange's favorite bit. It's the trading floor. Is it bell time, Joe? I think it is bell time, right? Let's do the damn bell, right? Let's get the bell going. So it's trading floor time, people. All right, let's see how this all shakes out now with our values. We start at the top of the list here. And at the top of the list for our trading floor, okay, we get it. We fucking get it. We understand. Okay, bell's going off. Soto still remains at the top. Probably won't be for long now, given his recent injury news. Calf strain for Juan Soto, second time. And this is the same calf, right, that he's gone down with. So it's just the same leg that's nagging him. So I got to think Soto's days at number 1 here is going to be, short. You got Schlittler making his way up to 198.74. Ben Rice up to 168.75. McLean's broke the 100 plane now. You got Christian Scott with the slight increase. Let's go to the lower end guys, as Joe's like to call the below MSRP guys, the below base value guys here. So we have a few more names added to this list. Trent Grisham went from essentially above MSRP to below after his placement on the Bear list. He's at 48. Polanco at 45. Paul Blackburn increased his value to 38.50. Remember, he started the year off on the Bear list because he placed on the bottom 10 Bear list in 2020. Yeah. There was already a degradation of his numbers there. And now you got even Freddie Peralta, Kodai Senga at 12.5 and 10.5. Who would have thought? All righty. So now that you've seen the values, Corey, let's take a look at how you did here. Corey, Nolan McLean again, holding on to your starting pitcher there. Gave you some points, about 30 ESB bucks in value. So, Corey, how are we going to play this one? You got well over 180, I believe, now between what you have in the bank and what the 2 players have there. So, how we looking? How are we doing this?
Yeah, let's see. I mean, upset I sold Soto before the last segment, but it was only a week too early. Only 1 week too early. It's not like McLean did bad either. McLean's been up twice for me. I think what I'm going to do right now, let's see, hypothetically, if I sold Lindor and took the money in the bank, if you go back to the first page, that would put me about, 80? If I go back to the first page.
Back to your page?
No, right here. This is fine. Yeah, okay.
Oh, my bad. I apologize.
You know what? and go back to the minus page, the hair bear page. Yeah. You know what? I got the 31. He's looked better. Did receive some votes. He didn't come in the top 5, but he did have some votes. Alvarez. I'm going to use the 31 in the bank
Ooh, I like that.
and add Alvarez, and I'll keep everything else constant.
All right, so you add Alvarez, so that leaves you with 1 ESB buck left over after it's all said, because Alvarez is worth 30, right? I think that's how that works out. Yep. So you're down to 1 ESB buck in your bank. You don't even have enough to buy Anthony Volpe there. So there you go. You're going to have Lindor, McLean, and Alvarez, all Mets here going into the next 3 weeks. All right, Corey, that's good. Well, let's head over to Joe. Now, Joe got nothing out of the players that you got here. AJ Ewing, Francisco Lindor. Ewing, though, did have a good 3 weeks. Did consider him for the bull list.
He cooled off this week, but he had a very good stretch.
So, Joe, what are we thinking here?
Man, it's tough. I think Lindor is about the point where he's getting going. He hit a home run today. It's only a matter of time before he gets on a bull list. So I'm gonna hold Lindor. I like Ewing. Let me see. I got 50 plus 13 plus 12, so I got 62, right? And what do we got on
the 60 on the positive list? 62 can get David Bednar or Carson Bench, or you can reinvest into a base value guy that's not featured at all.
Yeah, I mean, I like Ewing. I think the problem when you talk about these rookies is dog days of summer. You start to get to a point where you're not sure where they're going to be. So I'm going to sell him. And how about I pop it into Garrett Cole.
So, I'm wrong page here. 50, 62, and you can pop it into Garrett Cole because Garrett Cole is with base value.
Let's go Garrett Cole. I think Garrett Cole is going to have a nice you get into the rhythm of the season.
So swapping out Ewing for Garrett Cole, and then I guess you're just banking the 12, right? You're not putting this into Kodai Senga, are you?
Correct.
You can't even put Austin Wells. Austin Wells has been heating up lately. Just saying.
The trade
Austin Wells was a consideration for me.
Tyrone Taylor 2-run homer. So
there you go.
Hey, hot buddy. David is licking his chops because this
Isn't
guy
it kind of funny
5
that
runs in the last 2 weeks.
Between him and Semien, all these guys all of a sudden want to perform just to showcase to other teams and not even for your own team at an early stage. Okay, so Ewing for Cole, Lindor staying with you, and that's what we're rolling with, right? Yep. Okay, so Ewing out, Cole is in. Okay, we're good. Tom, let's I'll skip over my stuff for now. Tom, we'll go right to you. Tom, Schlittler again. Cam Schlittler again. Gets you some more points, 198.74. You're still working with Mark Vientos and Anthony Volpe for whatever reason. What are we thinking?
I can't move. Well, actually, go to your slide real quick. Let me see what you got going on. Oh.
We got that guy going on.
Okay.
He's good.
He is. Yeah, I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna end up, I think, with
why don't you? Oh, we overdid it. Well, how about this? You got Vientos, you got Volpe. That's 5.5.
I
1.5 is 7.
I'm in the pole position with Schlittler. I understand that you might have a lead on me, but
how about Wells? How about you sell all that crap and get Wells? Because you could. Wells has been hitting the ball lately. I can't deny.
I was shocked when I saw his numbers.
So
I was shocked.
He's dog shit, but like
657. I could get Wells.
You could get Wells. You could just say screw these two other guys.
We're spending way too much time at these bottom 3 guys on the list.
Yeah,
these guys have been here for far too long.
You know what? Wells, honestly, I think he could have made an argument to make the Bulls list this week. I didn't. I had him in consideration. I will do that. I will get rid of Vientos and Volpe. So I'll get $5.50 plus my $1.50. Give me $7. Give me Austin Wells. We're buying penny stocks. I'm not saying below MSRP because I don't think you guys understand what that means. So we're just gonna pass on that. And we're gonna do that. And I'm just gonna ride Big Daddy Cam to the title.
Love it. All right. So you clear out the crap, you bring in more crap, but you bring in well. So we'll take the positive there. But you don't have anything. You don't have anything.
Cam also had a better stretch than Ben Rice there. So the fact that Ben Rice was number one and Cam wasn't.
I'd make the argument that Nolan McLean probably had a better chance of hitting the number one spot for the last 3 weeks.
I would disagree because Cam Schiller pitched like 10 more innings, but.
All righty. Ben Rice again does it for me. I saw, obviously I my role. I can't sell out a number one. So Ben Rice is staying put. For Cody Bellinger, though, now that he's hurt, because I have to sell him. If I take that in the ESB bank, I'm up to 70. What does 70 get me? 70 gets me some decent players here. If we're going to roll that way, do we get creative and we go with a 50 grade? Do we just go with something that I wish the trade deadline was like yesterday? Because then we could have probably had some eligible 50 grade people.
Sure.
For 70. Oh, Lordy. Do I roll with a young Met here? I think that's where I'm leaning, boys.
Scott.
Let's go with Christian Scott.
Okay.
Let's put in Christian Scott. Let's see what that roll that shakes out to. So I'm gonna sell Belly with my bank. I have 70. I'm gonna take on Christian Scott, leave myself a 4. Not putting that in Anthony Volpe, never. And there we go. Christian Scott, Ben Rice, and that's how we wrap up the trading floor. Okay, so we're all set, and we're pretty much done, guys. I mean, we got nothing else to really talk about. I got this one thing we could talk about, actually. I haven't done this in a while. Let's take a look at where we've been at with our MLB teams draft that we did early in the year. See what the recent standings are. Joe's killing it. Joe is absolutely destroying people because every single team that's up there is in playoff contention. You also have a number one White Sox, a number one Rays, a number one Rangers, a number one Dodgers, a number 2 Cubs, and a number 2, I think it's a number 2 Padres or number 2 Diamondbacks. Regardless, you have them both. Doesn't even matter. 404 for Joe. Tom's in second place, 374, because even with the Mets, at least the Red Sox decided to become the best team in baseball for the last month. The consistent Brewers are still there. You got those 2 Central teams in the American League still fighting for it. Corey Favs has got the Braves and the Phillies, so you feel good about your East guys. The Mariners, you can't count them out. The Cardinals, I think, are still in a playoff mix. My picks fucking suck. My picks were absolutely dreadful. Outside of my New York Yankees, everything else is just dog water. Joe, once again, doing victory laps here at ESB.
Listen, I won't count it until it's in the bank. But, Tom would say that I somehow cheated and accuse me of cheating when in reality, I'm just that good.
Stop. Did you have the first pick? Is this not in the order we picked in?
This is not the order we picked in. Joe did have the first pick. You had the second. It's in alphabetical order. Joe had the first pick. You had the second pick. I think Corey had the third pick, and I had the fourth.
Okay. I was going to say.
This comes down to Tom picking the Mets with his second overall pick.
On paper was a paper.
He called my Mets. My Mets is what he called it.
Yeah, you can have.
We're still with the pitiful effort of the Mets, I'm still dog walking Rich and Corey. That says all
the
you
second place matter. The second place.
I got more points. The gap between me is bigger than the gap between you and Rich. Gap between me and you is bigger than the gap between.
Yeah, but my first pick was the Mets.
Let's talk latest greatest with X.
Put myself in a hole.
Make sure nobody cares, Tom. Make sure to give us a follow on ESB Podcast, ESB NYY, ESB NYM. Give some love to the spaces we got going on throughout the week, including this one called The Bronx Take, including this one called Queens Boulevard, hosted by Phil from Shirley, including this one called BX2X, is our post-game space hosted by Tom's favorite community member, Big Slick, and Extra Innings will follow this edition of ESB. I'll be behind the microphone for that one on the main page, so make sure to check that out. But none of this shit matters. I mean, yeah, sure, it matters on if we're just going to talk all of ESB, because what matters most? Corey Favs, what's happening next week? What matters most?
What matters most is we got the trade deadline. We're going to have another live trade deadline edition of ESB. For those of you who were involved last year, whether it was on the panel or in the audience, it was a great show. We had a phenomenal turnout. It was ironically the most active MLB trade deadline in recent memory. So only fitting we did it live on the show, and we are going to do it live again. And it falls on a Monday this year, so falls on a normal show week. So in lieu of a regular show, we get a trade deadline special.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
think Volpe just hit a grand slam.
No,
that's just he's up with the bases loaded.
There's
Or
no
is he trolling?
It's
I
booked.
mean,
He's trolling.
he commented that before Volpe even was out of the on deck circle. So
yeah, maybe he's calling it. Maybe he's making a prediction here. We'll see. Maybe Anthony Volpe will be involved in this trade deadline show in some aspect next week. It'll be very fun. Again, it's an open invite to those all involved with ESB across our spaces and live streams. So we could have as many as 10 folks up here just from ESB alone. But for you at home too, that want to come in and comment and give your reaction on some of the trades that happen, we're going to open up the line as well for you guys to join us when we're past the trade deadline mark and give your takes on what has happened. There is an in-play runs, Tom. Hold on.
It's a Volpe grounded out. Close play at first. They scored. I mean, he had a chopper to short. Very close play. But yeah, you got to run on the board. He's definitely out, but it was, he ran hard.
Double play.
All right. Nope, well, it's finally a ball game. It's 3-1. All righty. So that's it for ESB. Thank you all for joining us. All 45 of you. We're gonna quadruple. Not even. We're going to 10 times that number next week. So make sure you're with us for the MLB trade deadline show. Tom, Joe, Corey for the wrap.
Thanks for watching. Actually, I don't give a shit if you're watching.
Nice.
Yeah, not much reason to watch the Mets. But I'm hoping we have a good trade deadline.
Yeah. Listen, deadline's going to be fun next week. We'll hopefully save the big trades for the show, but time will tell. Hope everyone enjoys their last week of July. Crazy to say it. That will be in the dog days of summer, month of August, this time next week. But until then, everybody, take care.